The Korvax Colosseum had stood for 3,000 cycles, its obsidian walls bearing witness to countless battles that entertained the galaxy's elite. Blood from 100 species had stained its sands, and the roar of 70,000 spectators had shaken its foundations more times than could be counted. But never, not once in its long, brutal history, had it known silence like this. Captain Lyra pressed her palms against the energy barrier separating the holding cells from the arena floor, her breath fogging the transparent surface. Behind her, the dampeners hummed, designed to prevent any interference from the condemned. She was powerless here, just another prisoner forced to watch. Her hands trembled as she looked down at the 5 young figures being herded into the killing ground. The cubs weren't hers by blood, but they might as well have been. She had found them on Theta 7, orphaned after the mining colony collapse. Humans weren't supposed to adopt alien children. There were protocols, regulations, interspecies guidelines. But Lyra had looked into those wide, fearful eyes and seen children. Just children. So she'd smuggled them aboard her freighter, taught them Earth games, sang them lullabies her grandmother had sung to her, and watched them grow. The Korvax Empire had other ideas about their fate. Deathworlders raising Deathworlders, the magistrate had sneered during the trial. How fitting that you've created monsters. Let them prove their nature in the arena, as is our law for unregistered xenospawn. The crowd erupted in anticipation as the cubs emerged into the blinding sunlight. They were adolescents now, barely reaching Lyra's shoulder, their blue-gray skin marked with the geometric patterns of their people. Ravik led them, the eldest at 14 cycles, his jaw set in that stubborn expression Lyra knew too well. The arena master's voice boomed across the stadium, speaking in the trade tongue that echoed through translation implants. By decree of the Korvax magistrate, these 5 unregistered aliens shall fight to the death.
Only one may leave this arena alive.
The survivor will be granted citizenship and freedom. Lyra's heart shattered. They'd been told they would fight criminals, gladiators, anything but this. The Korvax were cruel, but this exceeded even their usual sadism. Weapons materialized in the sand before each cub, plasma blades, shock staffs, kinetic hammers. The arsenal of the Colosseum, tested and proven to provide entertaining deaths. The crowd leaned forward, their multi-species faces eager with bloodlust. Betting displays flickered across personal holofields. Ravik looked at the blade near his feet, then at his siblings. Mara, with her nervous habit of wringing her hands. Tok and Shen, the twins who still sometimes had nightmares about the colony. And little Vesa, who had only been 4 when Lyra found her. The arena master's countdown began. 10, 9, 8, Lyra screamed, but the dampeners swallowed her voice. She pounded on the barrier until her hands bled. 7, 6, 5. Ravik made his decision. He stepped away from the weapon and turned his back to the others, sitting cross-legged in the sand. Mara understood first, she always did. She sat beside him. Then Tok and Shen, their hands finding each other. Finally, Vesa scrambled into Ravik's lap, burying her face in his chest. 4, 3, 2. They sat there, 5 children in a circle of love, while the galaxy's cruelest entertainment waited for them to kill each other. 1. Begin. Nothing happened. The crowd's roar died like a candle flame snuffed out. 70,000 beings sat in stunned confusion. The arena master repeated his command, his voice cracking with uncertainty.
Fight, you must fight!
Ravik looked up at the magistrate's box, his young voice somehow carrying across the silent Colosseum. No, that single word, spoken in perfect Korvax, rippled through the crowd. Captain Lyra taught us, Ravik continued, his arm tightening around Vesa, that humans have a saying, blood is thicker than water. But she also taught us the full saying, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. We chose each other. We are family. We are human even if we weren't born on Earth. The magistrate stood, his crest flaring crimson with rage. You will fight or you will be executed together. Mara spoke next, her voice steady. Then execute us together. We learned another human saying, live free or die. The guards moved forward, energy weapons charging. The crowd remained silent, 70,000 beings holding their collective breath. Some looked uncomfortable, others confused. A very few looked ashamed. Lyra found her voice, though the dampeners still held. It didn't matter. She was screaming anyway, tears streaming down her face, watching her children choose death over betrayal. A sound began then, soft at first. A human in the stands, a freighter captain by his jacket, had started clapping. Slowly, deliberately. Another human joined him. Then another. Soon, humans throughout the Colosseum were on their feet, applauding the cubs who refused to be monsters. The magistrate's face darkened. Silence. Guards execute under what law? The voice came from the arena entrance. Ambassador Chen Wei of the Terran Diplomatic Corps strode onto the sands, her security detail fanning out behind her. Her credentials hologram floated above her head, untouchable even by Korvac's authority. These children were raised under human cultural practices, Chen continued, her voice amplified across the arena. They claim human identity and human values. By the Treaty of Proxima, any being who genuinely adopts human culture falls under Terran protection. The magistrate sputtered. This is Korvac's territory. Our laws, your laws, Chen interrupted coldly, just violated the Genocide Prevention Clause by attempting to force minors to commit filicide. I believe the Galactic Council will be very interested in this footage. She gestured, and her security detail's recording drones swept across the arena, as will every media outlet in known space. The crowd began to murmur. The magistrate looked around, seeing his entertainment transform into a public relations nightmare. Humans were barely 15% of the galactic population, but they controlled 40% of trade routes and 30% of military contracts. They were also notoriously stubborn about protecting their own. Release them, the magistrate finally said. Defeated, all of them. Lyra collapsed against the barrier as it dissolved. She ran onto the sand, and the cubs ran to her. 5 children crashing into her arms while 70,000 beings watched a human cry with joy. Later, as they boarded the diplomatic shuttle, Ravik looked back at the Colosseum. Captain Lyra, why did the humans clap for us? We're not really human. Lyra knelt, meeting his eyes. Old eyes in a young face, eyes that had seen too much. You're wrong, Ravik. Being human isn't about where you're born or what you look like. It's about choices. Today you chose love over survival, family over freedom. You refused to let them make you into killers. She pulled all 5 close. That's the most human thing I've ever seen. The shuttle lifted off, leaving the silent Colosseum behind and carrying 6 humans home.